Should we just dive into it, bro?
I guess so, man. Like,
All right. So, hello everybody. We are here with episode 5, our review for Anne Rice's Interview with a Vampire. Um, dude. Like I thought episode 4 ended with the banger, the way it ended with them trying to like put the pieces together and then diving into this episode where we're finally getting the puzzle, put together. It was insane. Absolutely insane the way they explained it to be set in modern day, something I loved. What did you think of this episode?
the only critique I have of this episode, they should have named it Memories because, gosh, dog, like we have been the whole, even like last season, the latter half of last season, we knew something happened,
Yeah.
like something was messing with Daniel's mind, and then we got that little puzzle piece that our mind might be manipulating certain things. I thought, our mind was going into his mind and manipulating stuff. Then we go on towards the season, we realize, oh wait, no, something happened. And I feel like this episode may be perfect. Like for real, for real. Like I don't think I've seen like a setup this well done, and just they did a Shaq, bro. They destroyed the back for it. Like,
and the amount of like theories you had while we've watched this show have been fantastic. But to see some of these things kind of be put together, such as the scene, I know this is kind of jumping the gun, but the scene of Armand speaking of Lestat speaking through Armand, if that's the way to say it.
yeah,
And that kind of blew my mind because you were in this position where you were like, what if the Lestat Louis is seeing is real? Not in the sense of him physically being there, but kind of like a mental astral projection type deal where that's why Louis is the only one that notices him. And I mean, I don't know. I didn't even know how I still don't know how I feel about that. But the situation that we're in, whether, they still don't remember everything.
no,
So the scene of Armand, speak like Lestat speaking through Armand, that couldn't even be. That might not even be the full thing. Might not even be the actual thing that happened. But as of now, that was just a really really well done sequence, man. And the acting in this episode, like I thought the moments between Claudia and Louis were like great, but Armand, the actor for Armand, bro, he was in his bag.
he was.
And realistically, me and you were on the same boat. We weren't feeling Armand, but we're in the situation we're in now. He's just become such a interesting character. He's not just the third wheel that whines a lot. He just has so much depth to his character now. And he's been so interesting to watch. And this episode just furthered that with the conversation between Louis and not even the conversation, the argument and both of these actors are like they're top tier, bro. Like so, like to see them going back and forth was some of the best stuff I've seen in a long time. I love that. I truly loved it.
Yeah, like it's so interesting because the relationships that Louis has had with Lestat and Armand, like I hadn't compared them up until this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I always kind of thought in my head, like, Armand is some trash, but he held it down. Like he stayed with him, like he never really tried to hurt Louis, but he may have broken the cardinal sin more than Lestat could have. Because the thing about Lestat, as freaking toxic as he is and manipulative and crazy as he is, at the end of the day, he really loves Louis undeniably. He's crazy, but he loves him undeniably. What Armand was trying to do, what he did, he tainted that whole entire love in every single aspect. Because yes, Louis kind of like went back and was on drugs after he bit Daniel. That whole thing was just nuts. But he was openly saying, I've only spent like a couple hours with this boy, and it is worth more than the past 2 or 3 decades I've spent with you. Like, you are boring. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like it for him. He was like, you're either one, you kiss my boot, or you're gonna be that goblin that's gonna rip my head off. And that's all that you are. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's a bar, first of all, because you don't even though there are people that have relationships, and you see different things about them that you don't like. But it was something that Armand has said in their conversation. He was like, you love Claudia, you love Lestat, but really, truly, like she didn't love you back, and then he couldn't love you where you wanted, and then you're still not getting something from me. And
Mhm.
Armand, this whole entire episode, like he literally took Daniel and just kept him captive to figure out how to be a better partner. And honestly, he probably took certain luxuries from Daniel's psyche then they still using now, which is crazier. And it's like that's so toxic, bro. Like that's not love at all. And I the writing is just so freaking phenomenal. It's on par with their acting. I think that's the thing. Like their acting is amazing, but the way that they wrote the characters, like it's crazy, bro. Like Claudia wasn't even in this episode. This took place more present day. We still don't know what happened to Claudia. We still don't know what happened back in the past. But because they were working these two different storylines so well, we got a lot in this. Man.
Yeah, and that line, that like subtle line by Armand in this episode where he's like, "Are you still mad about this, or are you still mad about what happened at the theater?" Like they're teasing us, man. Like we're gonna get some crazy sequence, and the fact that this show has already had some insane moments, the fact that we might potentially get something even crazier than what we've experienced already, it's blowing my mind, and it's just upsetting. When I watched this show, I wasn't watching it when it was airing, but it's crazy how slept on this show is. And season 2 has just expanded, and to me at least, it might be better than season 1. I don't know. I don't know where everyone else stands with that, but at the end of the day, I want more people to enjoy the hell out of this because this has been beautiful.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before. If this show was on something like HBO or HBO Max or heck on Amazon Prime, like I think it would probably be different. I think it would hit different with different people because, in all honesty, full transparency, outside of The Walking Dead, it used to be back in the day, like, Breaking Bad,
Breaking
like
Bad.
there was different shows, but, there's so much of a lot of Walking Dead that primarily most people watch AMC for that. They don't try to look out and seek other different shows, like,
Mhm. And
and
realistically, that sucks to hear, but the truth is, I only watched Interview with the Vampire because it was requested by a patron. So I watched it due to, that. And I have no regrets watching it. Now I'm watching it on my own accord because I love it. And it's just one of those shows. So it is disappointing. I don't know if it's the marketing or what it is, but this show just deserves so much more love.
Yeah, I think it's what it's gonna take is honestly is start winning some Emmys. Like if this show can start winning some Emmys. But the other thing about it is like the way that they pitched the original first season, they pitched it like it's gonna be a only first season, like a limited run. And
Okay.
then it ended up ending and like it was like, wait, there's more, right? And then they were like, oh no, yeah, we got a second part to it. It's coming up soon. And so it's like even with this season, like you're not looking forward to more. Like you're like, oh, this is what you're gonna get. So people want to at least feel like the impression like they're gonna get more out of it. And I think that plays a foundation with it. But um, as far as the episode, dude, like this is the most that we've gotten out of Daniel, honestly.
Mhm.
And the actor playing the role of the older Daniel and the younger Daniel were in their bag. Like they were doing so much to kind of show well-rounded who Daniel really is. One of the best lines, and I literally paused us watching because I was like, wait, what did he just say? What did he just say? Let me go get some chicken nuggets. He was having a conversation with Louis, and like he was high as a mug, and like basically Louis was sounding so tortured about like what's happened, who he's become, what it is, and Dan's like, man, give it to me, like make me a vampire, like I can do this, I can be your Lestat, I can be a better Claudia. And when he said that, I was like, wait, let me think about this. And like I thought about the different dimensions of how they work. And again, they did a good job of shaking that foundation when Armand commented on the way that Louis loves like all three of them. And it's kind of like the basis of like Claudia is very volatile and just needed something that honestly Louis couldn't provide. And then with Lestat, like he fully embraced being a vampire, but he was very toxic. But Louis loved him passionately. And it's kind of just like if Louis hadn't have met Armand and they had met Daniel like sooner, I think that, I mean, either one or two things would have happened. Either he would have turned Daniel or Daniel would have died. But I think that Louis would have completely fallen in love with what Daniel was doing. Daniel was trying to bring stuff out of him that Louis didn't have capable. Louis just dealing with too much PTSD to be stable. He wasn't mentally stable at all. Which is why what happened. But I don't know, man. It's just so fascinating with that. There's so many good things in this episode that we can just pick apart. But I love that they confirmed that Lestat's alive. I love that. I really do love that. I've been theorizing that for a grip.
Nah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think until I see him, I just need to see him. I'm not saying he's not alive, but I need to see him. I need to know what's going on. I mean, like the fact that like so much time has gone by. I don't know if there's a truce in order, but the fact that Lestat just hasn't found them or hasn't intervened in some way. I mean, I refuse to believe that that's the case. I'm sure that there's a lot. I mean, I know there's a lot more that we don't know.
Well, so that's the thing though. It's like that scene that they had was in the 70s. Now we're present day. There's a gap of time that Louis doesn't even remember. They both are just now recalling everything. So we don't know if Lestat has seen Louis up until this point. He might have already seen him already, and we don't even know. I find it hard to believe that after Armand cut him off, because basically, he was talking through him, and Armand couldn't tell Louis while he was in agony that Lestat loved him. He couldn't do it, and that's when he started being very volatile towards Daniel. And that's one thing I want to talk about. The amount of horror and dread I felt in this episode was here. It was peak. I don't know what happened, but I was terrified of this man, Armand. I mean, I've been scared of what Lestat could do, but I was never like, oh, okay, like he's got putties. He kills people all the time, but he's never gonna like openly kill, Louis or Claudia.
Yeah.
But Armand is very twisted soul because the way he handled Daniel was methodical, demented, and sick. Like it was. I think that I was picturing myself as Daniel, and I was like, bruh, I'd be like, can you just take me out, man? Like, if just go ahead and take me off me because I would never want to go through what Daniel went through. Like that was terrible.
Yeah. No, they it was mess. It was bad. It was bad. Even just the fact that like this poor dude Louis was able to hear everything in the other room, and he's just so weak to actually intervene. It's just I don't know. I just it was dark. I loved it. I think it was just so it was handled so well, man. And I think we need to watch the next episode. That's where I'm at.
This man's like, look, that's enough talking about. We got to talk about the elephant in the room, though. We got to talk about the fact that after after Louis tried to kill Daniel, after he blew up on Armand, after he was high as a kite, he basically said, I hear her. Like she's calling me. Like she needs me. And we didn't know where the heck she was going because the way that they handled the back and forth, like they're trying to recall the memories through the audio tape. And Daniel's like, you left, you went through 2 doors, you left, went through 2 doors. He kept trying to memory to try to jog it back. And we were both trying to figure out, like, oh man, maybe Claudia's still alive, maybe Armand got her locked up or something like that. This man, Louis, went up to the gas stern roof and tried to off himself.
Bro, the way that scene was insane. And there's been different ways that I know vampire movies or shows have handled the sunlight. I recently just saw Abigail, which I honestly had some fun with. It was like a weird movie, but it was fun. And the way they handle sunlight is as soon as you step into the sun, your body explodes. Like there's no slowly deterioration. Like it's just boom.
Mhm.
So to see the effect that they chose to go with, and to see him kind of like turning into dust was just it was like as if he got Thanos snapped. I mean, it was just so cool to see, and I really really loved the visuals for that entire sequence. Like it was just I don't know, the camera seemed a little like I don't know. Just everything about that just was so fun to watch, and you could feel the pain as like his entire body was just being ripped off of him. It was
Yeah,
insane,
yeah, and I think
especially the way they explained it too. I know. Sorry for
right.
interrupting you, but like the sirens, like I just love the way that they were just explaining it. You know.
Yeah, I think the thing that got me about that was he didn't just go out there like because initially I was like, oh man, he's so high, like he didn't even realize what he was doing. Because if he is a knee-jerk reaction, you would kind of move back, like, oh crap, I messed up. He went out there, opened his freaking shirt up, and was trying to off himself for real.
Mm-hmm.
And Armand had got up there and he's like, no, no, no. Like he was like trying to fight Armand to continue to die. And it's just like when you think about that, basically Louis is saying internally or subconsciously, he'd rather die than to be with another day.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was going with this earlier. I didn't mention it, but you mentioned like everything he said that was just so cruel. But at the end of the day, it was the final act that kind of like put the nail down. Because it's one thing to speak these words, but to actually off yourself is a whole different brand of hurt. Like the amount of hurt that this man Armand must have been feeling, on top of feeling like the last 30 years have probably been extremely boring, and he felt like like he hasn't been succeeding as a partner.
Yeah.
He had to watch his partner try to off themselves,
Right.
and just seeing the emotion in his eyes when he was like, "Oh yeah, like, do I have to be on suicide watch for the next
Next
1,000
1,000
years?"
years.
Like
Yeah.
it was, I don't know, like this was just, it was so good, man. It was so good.
Yeah.
But
It's just now we realize that Armand truly actually is a third wheel. And I always looked at it, he was a third wheel, to Claudia or to Lestat. But he's actually a third wheel to Daniel. And that's the crazy thing. At the end of the day, like he manipulated and closed off the memory to make sure he kept Louis in a cage that he can protect, that he can cover, and that he can have. And it's so crazy because the foundation that Armand built is on such a lie, bro. Like, I don't know what Louis is gonna do, to be honest. Because how are we gonna continue the rest of the interview and he knows what he knows? I mean, what Louis could do, he could lie and just say, "Oh, we're gonna continue," but realistically, he can't beat Armand. Like, at least unless something's changed that I don't know about. I don't know. Thoughts?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I've said everything I needed to say. I am ready for more. I'm gonna put it out there. But I want to hear your final thoughts.
Oh no, this is a freaking 10 out of 10. This
Yeah.
may be the best episode of this season. And I do think there are levels in this season that are better than the first season.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at the show holistically as just an amazing freaking show, bro. Yeah, I love the fact that Daniel and Louis have grown to this point together. When I think about them from the first episode of the first season to now, it's just so interesting. They have such a more deeper history that they didn't even really realize.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So 10 out of 10 for me, or A plus, whatever you want to call it. What's your final rating? And we'll go ahead and get out of here.
I'm giving this an A. I really loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, I'm really excited for more. And we only have a few episodes left, so it's crazy. I like the way it sounds. This is actually it. There's no, this sounds like it's actually it. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how they close it out. Should be fun.
Yeah. So we're gonna go, everybody. Bizzy, where can everybody find your content?
Bizzy Braun everywhere. Bizzy Reactions on Instagram, and over here doing reviews on Team JBS.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna go, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button, go to the description bar below, and check out Bizzy's content as well as others. And I've got some certain surprises for San Diego Comic-Con that are connected to Interview with Vampire as well. So just hold on to riches on that. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace, people.
Filing out the top of I can see the skyline, 50-mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind.